Hey guys, what's going on? Let's see. What's going on, Davon? I think I got your name right this time, bro. I'm so sorry for screwing it up the past episodes. I'm terrible at names. Big man Basson, what's going on, my man? You doing good? How's your new career path with fishing? Fucking jerk. I swear. I wish I could get paid to just go fishing. I'm trying to get paid to just do this. But no, I can't do that shit. Not yet. Not yet, right? Let's see who else is here. Who else? Let's see. Davon. Big man. I know Clinton's here. I know Wendy's here. You guys, we got a good show coming up tonight. So I got a couple of friends of mine that that's okay, everyone. Chris, what's up, my man? What is up? So we got a good show tonight. You guys remember Ryan from last week? Well, he's back on again tonight. Sue Mommy, how are you? Welcome. I haven't seen you in a second. That's pretty cool. Thanks for copping back in. Popping. But a couple good people, Ryan was from last week. He's coming back on this week. We have a mutual friend that we're pretty good with. Good guys. And like I said, this month was all about basically just telling law enforcement, firefighters, EMTs, shit, you name it, dispatchers, all the first responders that thank you. We appreciate your service. And for people that say that the dispatchers are not part of a first responder, they're the first ones to get the 911 call, just so y'all know. So they're the first respond. And then the police or fire department or the paramedics. What's up, Tori? So, just we owe a lot to them, and especially what's been going on with the garbage now, lately in the past, I don't know, year. And I think it actually started like in 2016, but I don't give a shit about then. We care about now. So we're trying to make a difference. And just by making the difference, and just everybody has a negative mindset nowadays. So we got to try to keep it on a more of a positive mindset. It's just because a cop pulled you over doesn't mean that he's, he or she is just going to bust your balls and give you a ticket or a citation or anything else. Maybe they're just telling you that your tag light is out or your tail light is out. Hey, it happens. Maybe the mechanic fucking forgot. I used to forget, and I was a mechanic. So anyway, we're going to bring them out. You guys, I really appreciate fucking Mike. Daddy's here. Dude, I'm fucking daddy. Okay? I'm the daddy. You're not the mama. So anyway, I got my friends out here. We're going to shoot the shit. Ask questions, talk to them. Let them tell their stories too. So let's just bring them out. You guys ready? What's up, gentlemen?
By the way, he's technically it's Daddy D.
What's up?
What's going on, man? How are you been?
Good. How you?
Yeah, hanging in there. Haven't seen you in a minute, man. I'm glad to see you here. I really am. I think the last time I saw you was me and Aiden. We cruised into
A location.
We cruised into your area, and then I texted you, and I was like, "Hey, man, are you still around?" You're like, "Yeah, dude, come through." So we came through. So that's cool.
You actually came out the house.
Yeah, you were mowing and you looked at us like we were crazy. I was like, "No, I'm not here to mow your fucking yard. I just want to talk to you."
Bro, in my defense, you are crazy.
Well, I mean, I am a little nuts.
A little.
So I mean, it happens. It happens. So tell us a little bit. We know Ryan, so we're not going to worry about Ryan right now. We want to know about D. What makes D's adrenaline fucking go? Like, especially with like law enforcement, you're fireman too, right? Volunteer fireman.
Yeah.
Dude, you do the whole thing like Ryan. Why?
Man, I don't know why. I started off years ago as a fireman. It was a passion. I love it. I've got a year and 4 months left, and I'm going to retire.
Nice.
September 1st, I got 25 years in the fire service, and then September 1st of the next year, when I turn 50, I'm going to retire. I accidentally got into law enforcement. I did. You know what? I was a full-time firefighter, and I was working on an ambulance in a town, and the police chief kept on me about going to work, and I challenged him about some benefits one day. His were better, so I took the job. I mean,
it happens.
After that, I went to dare officer training, and I did that for about 6 years, and that really changed my life. It was a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
We made a difference, and you can see the difference. That's the thing, is when you can see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you get older and you get more training. You just kind of gradually find yourself out of the street and behind the desk, and now I'm just the old guy.
Yeah. Do you miss the streets? Are you mostly on the streets? Or are you mostly behind the desk now?
Yeah, I'm behind the desk now. I'm over personnel and training.
Gotcha. I gotcha. You miss the streets though, don't you?
Sometimes, yeah.
I hear you, Ryan. You're on the streets.
He misses it all the time. He's always out getting in the shit with us.
Oh, I'm sure. I bet you if I was there, we'd all get into some shit. I would probably end up.
Funny story. You're not. So.
Funny story. Yeah, I'm not there.
For everybody on here, he's been offered a position.
He just is dragging his feet,
multiple times. If Chief is watching right now, he'd probably be like, "Bro, what the hell's wrong with you?"
I mean, we did train you.
I had Chief on the show. Chief was the first one.
Our chief?
Mm-mm.
Your chief.
Oh.
My chief.
Oh, if your chief's watching, sorry, dude.
I mean, I trained your chief and you.
I know.
I
know. Hey, do you remember? Do you remember in DT that me and Woods, right?
Oh God.
Me and Woods, we were doing DT together, and we were throwing each other around. And what was his name? The DT instructor. He was like, hey man, do these guys know each other? And he's like, no, they just like throwing these motherfuckers around. And we were going after it. That was the first time me and Woods, we ended up going to cleat together for the full-time academy, and we did the exact same thing. We were throwing each other around like fucking rag dolls. But it was such a good time. And then I remember getting a little bit hurt in DT. Do you remember that?
A little bit hurt?
Yeah. Remember? My rib popped.
I do remember.
And then D came up to me. It was like the last 2 days of cleat. And D came up to me and he was like, are you good? And I was like, yep. He's like, no, are you good? I was like, I told you, yep, and I'm good.
Because he wasn't about to go through all that again.
No, fuck you. No. I will eat this fucking rib that kept popping out. And I did too. I ate that motherfucker for lunch. And then once it was over, I was like, thank God this shit is done, because my rib was killing me. It kept popping out. Remember that shit?
Oh yeah.
D walked up to me and he's like, are you good? I was like this. Yep.
No.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. No, hell no. If I said no, it would have been it. I'm not going through that shit again. He was a good DT instructor too. That's for damn sure.
He still is. He did our last one.
Did he?
Yeah.
He's good. I liked him. Little guy. But that motherfucker was a beast. He was a beast.
Hey, you should reach out to him and do your next one.
What?
See if you do it.
My next DT?
On your next show.
Bring him on show.
Well, this is the I mean, I'm down. I've got a few other guests lined up that I'm getting in. But yeah, it's I'm always down. We have a guy here that I'm going to bring in. Dr. Duncan is his name, and he is really good with knife and hand-to-hand combat with knives and everything, almost like Krav Maga style, which I'm really into that stuff, dude. What?
Put him on camera. Another guy that works with us, I think, just walked in the house.
Oh shit!
You may get a third one.
Oh shit! He just walks into her house just randomly, like, "Hey guys, what's up? What's up? What's up, popos?"
We do that. Just chill in each other's houses.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe.
No.
We take each other's kids to the park and everything else.
Right on. So how long you been a fireman, D? Or you said 25 years. And how long were you police?
The first is 25 years. 19 and a half years police.
Fuck around. You like,
I
and
was
you
an
like,
EMT. I was an EMT for over 20.
is Ryan your son?
I know.
I mean, I'm just wondering because he's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, I know.
You guys are like the trifecta of your community. Oh my Lord. Is this true? Most of the time? Bro, we need to have a little discussion here. So anyway. So I mean, so was it something that happened in your past that, like, was there something that when you were a child or whatever that said, hey, look, like, was there a car accident or was there, something that traumatic happened that made you jump into fireman?
It wasn't traumatic. It was, we had some really, really good friends that were full-time paid firemen, 2 of them. And I was fortunate enough to hang out at the fire station a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, for years. Those guys ended up retiring from that particular fire department. And that's what made me want to be a fireman, was looking up to those guys. And then, like I said, I got into the law enforcement by accident. It was kind of a blessing. Sometimes I don't think that now on days like today when we're doing budget and talking to the city manager, and it's not really a blessing on these days, but
right.
Anytime you actually get to make a difference, or you see young guys, one just walked in, you see, you get to look at one of these young guys and you see what you used to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing, they're you. They're the miniature version of you, and you know what they're going to become, and their potential, and that's rewarding.
So when you see these cadets running through the academy, because you do the reserve academy, you hold a cleat certified reserve academy, right, at your department,
right?
And when you see them, if, let's say you've got 15 of them, do you ever look at a couple of them and go, you should not be here?
Absolutely. Yes. Every time.
So let's say you get 15 cadets in your academy. Roughly how many are like, you shouldn't be here? Like, do you see, like, in let's say the last 2 classes, like
the
4?
last 2 classes, you may in the beginning look at one, but you realize I have 100% pass rate in all my academies.
Mm-hmm.
This last one was kind of a big one. It was my 10th academy.
Nice.
But so far, knock on wood, which I don't have. Oh, here, I got some. Knock on wood, 100% pass rate.
Good. That's good. No, I remember that when I was going through. Dude, you remember my last job that I was actually working when I was going through the academy? I would be at your academy at 5:30?
Yeah.
And then I had to drive to Tulsa that night to go because I had to be at work.
Right.
And Tulsa is 2-3 hours away from where you're at.
I had a guy that did that in this academy too. He's almost in the same position you're in.
Hey, Gorilla.
And then I lost my job.
That wants to say hi.
Oh, motherfucker. What are you doing? That's my guy right there. Hold on. What is that shit on his face? Put it back. Let me see that. Pan that back. Let me see that. Oh, my God. I like this guy. He's one of my favorites. What are you up to, dude? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man.
Hey, no problem. Thanks, man.
How you doing?
No, that's cool, man. That's awesome. I'm glad I got to see him. I'm glad he got to see me. That's the cool thing.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. Since the full-time academy when I was just running through. That was what? Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
So because listen to this, D. I missed my state exam by 2 points, and that was it. I had to wait 2 years to do anything.
Did you graduate at 18 or 19?
That is technically not true.
19.
You do not have to wait 2 years to do anything.
Well, to try to be full time. You are
reserve certified.
Mm-hmm. Right, but to keep trying to be a full time, I had to wait 2 years.
But you are reserve certified, so
you can work now.
You can work now and get paid for it.
I know. I know. There's a difference between reserve certified and full-time certified.
Yeah, but you're not following me. There's an agency that says you can come and work for them. But once
As
again,
reserve status. As
you're dragging
reserve
ass.
status.
I mean, we hire from our reserve pool.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm digging. I'm smelling what y'all are stepping in. I get it.
Are you?
I am. But if I could have easily have worked. Now, okay. All right. You really want to go this route? Let's go this fucking route.
Let's do it.
So let's go. So there's no way I could accumulate 40 hours a week, right? As a reserve.
No more than 25.
No more than 25 hours a week.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. See, I need a full-time job.
Well, keep your full-time job and come and reserve for us.
See, this is you are not listening to what I'm saying. You are not listening. I hear you. I'm listening to you, but you're not listening to me. What I'm saying is that there's no way for me to be a full-time officer for 2 years. I could be a reserve. Fuck around.
You said you couldn't do anything for 2 years.
No, everybody kept interrupting me. So nobody let me spit it out first. So if everybody would just fucking shut up and pay attention, then we would have a great time.
You know I miss you, right?
I do know. God bless America.
We love you.
Yeah. You love this dick, motherfucker.
No. You would too.
Anyway.
Not 206.
What happened?
What is it?
Nothing. It's
Not
more that
bad.
damn police work getting in the way.
Bunch of dopers.
Oh man. So D, what's your worst story and what was your best story? Like your
Fire or police?
either one. You pick. Maybe both.
Okay, so best story, police.
Yeah. Don't make it fucking like, oh man, this once upon a time, I did this, I rescued a fucking cat out of a tree, and then fucking what was that?
Hey man, best time police graduate. So when you go to the academy, it's a mini academy to become a dare officer. At the end of it, they make you go teach, and it was summertime, so the schools were out, so they put us in daycares in the city. And so we got to go in and deliver the program in the city. Well, then at the motel, they do that training at a motel, and it's labor intensive, but they have a real formal graduation. And at the end of that graduation, one of the kids that we taught, they give you, Dare has a line. It's Dare in the Dare line. And the kids that we taught, they walked them in all carrying our lines. And one of those kids, handed you your Dare line. I get Coach Hills even talking about it. I know it doesn't sound like much, man, but when you spend time with these kids, and then, when they look at you with them, huge kid eyes, and they're so proud to be there. That was probably one of my best moments in law enforcement.
Absolutely, because the kids are what, for starters, when a parent would used to call me up and say, hey, can you come over here and scare my kid? No, I'm not going to come over there and scare your kid. Be a fucking parent and scare your own kid.
Right.
I'm not going to dress up for you and put a fucking uniform on for you just so your kid can grow up and not like the police officer because we scared you. It's a vicious circle.
Not do he'll take you to jail at Walmart thing, because we're not going to take you to jail.
Yeah, if you don't eat your broccoli, he's going to take you to jail. A lot of parents used to tell you that shit.
Oh no, we still hear it all the time in Walmart. Oh, if you don't be good, he'll take you to jail.
See, and that's just putting a bad stigma on law enforcement. Period. Because you don't hear, oh, you better be nice to the fireman because he's going to catch your house on fire. You don't hear that shit. I mean, it's only for law enforcement, that, and maybe there's mechanics and doctors. Here's one for you. Can you guys read that?
What was the biggest fire you ever dealt with?
Biggest fire well, that can go two ways. The biggest fire-wise I ever fought was a mattress factory fire, in which we ruined over 1,000 feet of hose with with the burnt latex all over it. I mean, that was a huge hot fire, but we weren't in it. The worst fire I ever worked was an underground house. The fire had already come up across the ceiling. We made interior, and they had a decorative 12-inch beam across the ceiling. That beam actually fell and pinned me to the floor.
Oh shit!
And we train not to leave your partner. Don't leave your partner. Don't leave your partner. But between the two of us, I was pinned to the floor and he couldn't lift it. And I had a really hard time getting him to leave me alone and go get help. I mean, I had to pretty much scream at him, because if he wouldn't have gone and got me some help, we would have both just died in that fire.
Yeah, we would be singing a totally different fucking show.
Yeah. Well, I never would have met you. That was years ago, years and years ago.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude. I didn't know that.
So, I mean, that's my worst fire story. I mean, one thing that's the common denominator between the fire and the police service is I got to give it to all the guys that I work with. I mean, the majority by far, I mean, there's a lot of cliche stuff out there at Thin Blue Line, Blue Lives Matter, you have your flag up, but I don't think people really understand the family, the family atmosphere that we have. I mean, I really wasn't kidding a while ago. I mean, Ryan and his wife take my kiddos and go to the park. We meet together. They play together all the time. They're being raised together. And, we have 18 years is a very short time when you think about having to mold your child into what you want them to be. So, I'm a dad with 40 uncles.
Yeah.
Between the police and the fire service, I'm a dad with 40 uncles. And if something were to happen to me tonight, I rest easy knowing that tomorrow my family's going to be okay because of my brothers and sisters. I mean, and that goes, fire and police the same. I would never trade the group of people I work with. Yeah,
no shit. No, that's about what it is. I think there's a special, there's a bond, there's a special camaraderie, when it comes to, especially your department that you've basically just grown with, and everybody that comes around you. And then, like, for you two, both of you, when you see academies and cadets coming through, you guys are looking at what's coming up. The ones that are saying, "Hey, I'm gonna step up to the plate. I'm gonna try to make a difference in this. We're gonna try to make a difference in this world of chaos." And that's a hard thing to do, especially if they're everybody's a great person, and you really want the best for everybody. But it's on the flip side of it. Once they're done with that cadet, once they're done with that academy, they go and they do what you guys are doing at your department. They're doing it at theirs, hopefully. And hopefully they're doing the right way.
Academy's the way. You went through our academy, so how we do it. And, our academy is not just what CLEAT requires. We add a lot of practical time to it. I mean, you spent an entire 8-hour day, doing nothing but building clearance, and it wasn't easy. Yeah.
I remember, man, I'll tell you what, talk about building clearing. So that building, you guys, if you didn't tune in last week with Fire Officer right here, we talked about this building. What was it actually? Was it a mental? No.
It was a state school for physically handicapped. Okay.
So this building is like deteriorating, completely just falling apart, black mold everywhere, anything anybody could think of. They still had baby food jars in the kitchen from like 1980. And it said Gerber, and it was disgusting. And I don't know there was no labels. It just looked like pure mush. And we're having to go clear this building, and everybody's like shooting shit at us. And everybody. If that officer is still here, he was there with us doing this building clearing.
He was?
Yeah, he was. The officer that just showed up wherever he's at.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's here.
Yeah, he was there. He was there. I remember looking around and seeing D. D was sitting facing a wall, playing with some sort of, I don't know. He says airplane. I say it's a fire truck, semi, whatever.
Airplane.
And he was sitting there and he's just like vroom, vroom, back and forth. Like at the end of a fucking room, like way out into the distance. And listen, you guys, I don't know, but that was already, I've seen enough scary horror flicks. And that was scary in itself. That screamed setup all over it. Like, do not go near this fucking guy because I don't know what it is. So I don't know, but I remember so many different things going on in that academy. D made a comment once, and he said during DT we were all going through it. Ryan, you've probably heard this too. What is your life worth? You remember that?
Ryan's heard it. Everybody that's been through my academy's heard it.
Yo, and let me tell you, that hit hard in our academy because there's actually a few people that were thinking about dropping because they heard that. And I said, you guys need to understand what that actually means. I mean, if you're in a fight for your life, what is it worth? What is your life worth? Mm-hmm. Is it worth them? Is it worth them to have it? Nope. Absolutely
here's
not.
The deal. You're in a when you go to work and you're on the street and hell comes upon you, you know what your life's worth. Mm-hmm. But in training, everybody tends to want to, lay back and kind of chill and not go hard and strong because it may hurt a little bit. You may get bruised. But in training, we have to train like we're going to go to work. Yeah. So I ask you in training, what is your life worth? Mm-hmm. If you give up on me in training, you'll never make it on the street, ever. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And let me tell you, that really put, when I was going through the academy, that really put a lot of things into perspective. Like when we did the domestic practicals.
They tell him it's his birthday.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. It's his birthday. This guy right here. Okay. No, I saw it on Facebook, bro. I meant to say it. Yeah. Well, how old are you? 56, 57?
I hope he's not 56.
31.
31.
If he's 56, I'm retired.
He's 31. 56. Really? That's it? You just turned 31 today?
Yes.
Oh, my God. You still got fucking gristle. You don't even have a backbone yet.
Hey, what all did y'all talk about last week? What did I miss? Did you talk about him hunting hogs and shooting himself in the leg?
Oh, my God.
No. Oh, by all means, let's talk about this.
That's a good birthday story.
Yeah.
Man, you have to on live YouTube.
Oh, yes, I did.
Hey, got it right. It's not Instagram, it's YouTube.
You got on YouTube. I saw the link on Instagram.
I'm just you did not see it on Instagram.
I did. I swear. I'll go make an Instagram real quick and put it on.
Oh my God. What am I gonna do? Anyway, proceed with the story.
What do you want to know?
I want to know how the fuck you shot yourself, for starters.
So you've heard this whole story. Yes, you have.
You're saying this, but I'm saying I haven't.
So I was at work on an off-duty deal. I wasn't actually with Davis PD at the time. Well, I wasn't. It's okay.
Right on. Look, and Big Bassin is saying, see what had happened was, let me tell you how I shot myself.
Yeah, for real. So I was actually with another agency, and most cops can't shoot. You're right. And, you got me all flustered and got me screwed up.
I
Not Come on, man. About where we work at, and you're over here getting me screwed up. We're working an off-duty gig, and funny story. It was a church camp. It was.
Get to the hogs, man.
So we're doing our last patrol of the night, and we go down to the rec field, and making sure there's no more kids down there because we had just cleared out every kid and told them to go. It's time to go to bed or whatever. Our dumbasses found pigs. So we try to run them out of there. Well, they go into the fence. It makes a 90. And all of them disappeared. So we got out of our side-by-sides and walked up. Well, let me tell you, when pigs chase you, it sucks. What do? I mean, you have 15 pigs on it. You shoot it, you ran over by them, right?
You end up shooting yourself.
Apparently, that's how it worked that night. So I took a nice little ride to the hospital on a helicopter and got released the next day. And here I am.
Bro,
there's a funny story to that because you do realize I told him not to go where he went, and he went anyway. He didn't listen to me.
Well, how old is he? How old was he?
Oh, that's been 3 years ago.
Okay. All right.
I'm still young,
So Davon is asking for the both of you, what would you do? What would you want to do the rest of your life of being a cop or a firefighter, and why?
Man,
I've already done my time as a firefighter, 25 years. So I'm just going to finish my career as a cop. And I mean, I'm going to play some golf and
heard that.
Enjoy cold adult beverages and try to relax and just it's funny when you get into this stage of your career, you start reorganizing, and family's more important. And I mean, it's not the same as it used to be. And to be honest with you, if the world was the way it was the way it was when I started like it is today, I probably would have been just retiring as a full-time firefighter.
Yeah, you wouldn't even touch. There's a lot of people that won't even touch police now because of everything that's been happening.
I mean, but the thing about it is we all need to concentrate on doing it right. You can pull somebody even if it's warranted that they get a citation, even if you don't have to treat them poorly. Right. I mean, you can take somebody to jail and have a decent conversation with them. I mean, the only time that you can't do that is when they won't let you. And I think that we all just need to be doing it right. I mean, everybody's pushing for reform, and our department's already taken care of de-escalation training and shooting decisions. We took care of that right away. I mean, but I think more important than de-escalation and shooting decisions, I think, is attitude. Yeah. And I think if we all remember just the golden rule, I mean, just that simple, it can be that simple. If we all remember that, I think that's where your change is. I mean, the society that we live in today, I mean, we're canceling cartoons, guys. I mean, serious? I mean, kids eating Tide Pods. My generation had Wonder Woman. This generation's wonders if they are a woman. So,
yeah. I mean, but what's funny is we did our own crazy shit growing up. We didn't have Tide Pods to do because there was no such thing as Tide Pods. But we had our own fair share of nonsense and hey, you know what? Set this piece of wood up on this sketchy ass brick, and I'm gonna try to jump it, and I'm gonna try to land on the handlebars while I'm in air. We had no idea what we were gonna do, and then we end up breaking our legs. So I mean, I don't know.
In high school, when we had a problem, what did we do?
Settled it between yourselves.
We went to the park after school and we fought.
And you knuckled up. At the
end of that, we were usually either friends or had a mutual respect for one another. We weren't shooting each other.
No. We didn't think about shit like that. You thought about, man, I hope this guy doesn't whoop my ass.
Right. I hope I win. There's only going to be one winner, motherfucker. You're going to come in second place. Back to attitude. I think that if everybody will just be cognizant of being kind, as long as you're allowed to be kind, I think that goes a long way.
100%. And I tell people, just because they're a criminal doesn't mean that they don't have civil rights. Everybody
right.
has a civil right. I mean, just because I pulled you over doesn't mean I need to treat you like a jerk off. It doesn't
because you have
happen.
to go to jail doesn't mean that I have to treat you poorly.
Yeah. Oh, and okay, fire officer, there's been a couple of happy birthdays for you, my friend. And there's another one. I've been holding on to these. I'm sorry. I didn't want everybody thinking that I'm trying to not throw these comments out. They're actually, you guys, I turned off the comments so we can focus on each other, because it does get a little bit distracting when comments start coming through and there's just other conversations happening over here. So just because I have, I'll throw up the comments or questions as I see fit, so these guys can read them and we can converse back and forth, because man, it does, trust me, you guys, when I tell you this right now, when there's like right now, we had 14 people in. If everybody was commenting and talking, we start steering off more towards the comments and everything else. So anyway, boom, exactly. Show respect and get it in return. I mean, that's just, it's, and this guy right here, unless they have smoking unicorn horns.
They have smoking unicorn horns, man. I'm probably going to stop and take some pictures of that because my kids
So yeah, if that's who I think it is, it's a funny story about that. At the gun shop here locally, I came in at the gun shop and there was Norman PD. Right now, everybody knows I'm in Norman. They don't know my department, where I work, or anything else. And so Norman PD is standing there. I come walking in. I said, "What the fuck?" And come to find out, there's a gentleman that they have sitting to my left. So as soon as you open up the door, there's like 3 or 4 officers on my right, and there's a gentleman sitting in a chair or a bench to my left. I went walking right between them. I thought, what the fuck is going on? So come to find out, the gentleman that they have sitting on the bench came into the gun shop. He came in, dropped down to his knees and started praying to Satan, talking about how he was smoking unicorn horn and everything else. So, bro, let me tell you how many guns were pulled on him that day at the gun shop. Do not come to the gun shop like that. So the police department show up. I get caught in the middle as I'm walking in, and the police are like, "You can come through." One of the guys that is at the shop, he's like, no, just stay. So I'm caught in the middle, because in case this guy starts going crazy, I'm stuck in the middle. I'd hate to have to beat this motherfucker's butt. You know what I mean? So I cut through. Long story short, dude gets hauled away, and I think it was a mental health issue, and I think it was drug induced.
Well, that was a good ED then.
Yeah, and now they called it ED rather than EOD.
I know.
They're just going to call it E now. So I don't know if there's a lot of people. There's been a few people commenting about you being a DARE officer. Let me scroll back up here. So like Sue's mommy says she loved the DARE program. Oldest participated. So is that DARE program still around? Or is it?
It is. It's still alive in Oklahoma. Some great DARE officers. I'm gonna tell you that my mentor in the DARE officer program has passed away now, and I miss him every day. He was just an amazing guy. And you know, you have those instances. When I told you earlier that being a DARE officer changed my life, man, I'm serious. It wasn't. It takes your whole idea of law enforcement and changes it. Yeah. I did it, for 6 years, and you just get to see the light bulbs, and I mean, it's so hard to explain the joy you get to watch, the kids. It's just one of those things. I think that it should be in every school, but I was one, and unless you go through that training, you don't understand it. You just
correct.
Don't. I mean, you can understand the program if you went through it, but you don't understand the officer side of it and how hard it is. I mean, they don't make it easy, at least in Oklahoma, to certify as a DARE officer.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, you go to class, you go to lunch, you go to class, you go to dinner, and then you meet in breakout rooms until 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Then you're back in class at 8 o'clock the next morning. I mean, because it takes that much time to teach you how to interact with these children appropriately and to teach them. And man, when all of a sudden you're getting, meth pipes and stuff hidden around the school because your middle school students have been through your class, man, that's what it's all about. That's getting drugs out of the school right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's got to be tough. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the kids running around with the dope as well, especially like middle school. I mean, because I think it's starting to kick in more middle than it is now in high school. Have you guys like come across any of that crap as well, or?
In school, I got a guy 2 nights ago that's 17 on a
Yeah,
traffic stop.
I think we're a little luckier than they are up around your area in the metro. I think we still live in a. I wouldn't say we're behind times because we're not, but it's just a little different culture. Slightly.
Oh, for sure.
So, I think we're fortunate about that. I really do. And we wow.
Isn't that crazy? He's out of Florida. I mean, and he's not lying. He's not bullshitting at all. I mean,
we've got some issues with vapes in our school, but not so much the THC.
So I went to a class, was it 2 years ago? The ABLE class, right? The ABLE Commission class. And they said that the schools, if I'm not mistaken, the schools can start pulling out citations for kids that have tobacco or anything else, and they confiscate it. That kid,
they can actually be suspended or expelled.
Right. But they can also get a citation. Was that right? Did I hear that right when I was? I can't remember.
If they have an officer in the school, they can get a citation. I mean, you have to have the authority to write the citation to get to court.
Well, they got a paper now from the ABLE Commission that shows that this is your fine. And they send it to the commission. And the ABLE Commission actually.
And I think what happens, and I think what happens is if the school writes the citation, the money goes towards the school.
Yeah.
If the cop or the SRO writes the citation, only like a third of it or something goes towards the school.
Yeah.
To like help combat against it. Like one of our schools, the superintendent was like, "Can you guys walk a dog through the schools, just to keep the kids on their toes?" And we were like, "No, it's not going to happen." Because it's just
we do.
I mean, your town is I think it's about a little bit bigger than ours, but I mean, it's just
4,800.
Yeah, and I think I don't know which way to go with that. I mean, I'm down for it. I always wanted to be a canine handler. I'm down for it, but and then on the flip side of it, you've also got other things. I'm sure other crap now. Do you guys train more and more building clearing as the years go on? Is that like now starting to be part of a curriculum, correct?
Yeah, it's the same curriculum that you went through.
But I mean
you got to have to continually practice it.
Oh, I know. We went through a building class not too long ago. It was CLEAT certified. We got 8 hours for it, all that.
The alert training is really good too.
Oh, I've been to that one.
That's one I was telling you about where the Air Force guys shot up them kids with the sim rounds.
We had the alert guys. We had a couple of guys from Dallas, and they were SWAT in ours. And let me tell you, he said, he says, how many of you, there was maybe 10 of us in there. He said, how many of you carry a tourniquet? Everybody raised their hand. He said, how many of you got 2 of them? Maybe 2 or 3 of them. He goes, how many of y'all got 3? Nobody raised their hand. He goes, why the fuck are you guys not carrying more than 2? He goes, have you seen y'all cornbread eating motherfuckers? He goes, look at the size of your thighs. If you guys got shot right now in the leg, it's going to take more than 1 tourniquet to wrap it. And I was like, this is true shit right here. Everything okay?
Yeah, we got weather moving in.
Yeah. I was telling everybody earlier, we're having some nasty weather coming up this way. Well, it was passing through, but I mean, it's
now hitting here.
Huh?
What you got earlier is just now hitting here.
Yeah, probably. What man? I'll tell you what. Earlier it was they were talking about baseball size hail and everything else. So it wasn't here. It was more up north.
Yeah, northeast. I know there was a tornado warned storm.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. This is true statements. I mean, it's
I agree with that.
Okay. Here's you go.
How do your what? Is it supposed to say body?
We don't have speed cameras.
Oh,
You talking about speed cameras
oh.
on the road? Is that what you're talking about?
I got you.
We don't actually have speed cameras. We just have handheld and radar mount or vehicle mounted radar.
Mm-hmm. I like the ones that when you're doing speed and you get the little trigger that it looks like Wally.
Dude, these guys bought me one. Well,
Mm-hmm.
they bought my sergeant one.
Oh, that's good. No, it's not. It can be the same, Clinton. But an SRO is at the school to take care of problems. He gets called he walks the halls and makes sure that there aren't weapons. He makes sure that there's not fights. He's a law enforcement officer at the school. A DARE officer actually delivers a curriculum in the kindergarten, first grade, second grade, through fourth grade. It's about a 15 to 30 minute curriculum. When you get into the sixth grade range, it becomes about 45 minutes. And then when you get into middle school, it's actually an hour curriculum, but they have workbooks. So it's actually, there's drug abuse resistance education. So with the kindergartners and the little kids, you have big flashcards, and up into middle school, you get actual workbooks. So you are actually a teacher in the room delivering a curriculum. And an SRO is basically a police officer in the school. That'd be the best way I could explain that.
Yep. That's 100%. So now I've been asked questions like this before. So when you're sitting in your car, you're running radar, or when you're driving and a car passes you, can you get the cars coming towards you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oncoming. You get the cars behind you, whether they're coming up on you, you can toggle between everything. Mm-hmm. And then you can also get the cars that go past you, right?
Yes.
So, and then there's people that are like, how do you guys figure that out? How do you know? Well, I mean, we've trained and we know because there's also on our patrol units, they also have a fast button where you can hit. So you probably had the same ones then. So you just hit that little toggle and hit the fast, and then it picks up the radar for the fastest one, or the wind or something, right?
It's not wind because it's Doppler radar, but
Doppler radar from it. Yeah. So there's answers to that question now, and I know there's other questions that some of these people. Now, if you're cruising in, I don't know, we're going to just say a county. Let's just say Lulu County. And you see a cop car that's not from Lulu County, it's from Goo Goo County. Can the guy from Goo Goo County do anything to you in Lulu County?
Absolutely.
And they can.
You can be cited driving a marked law enforcement unit. You don't have permission to do whatever you want just because you're in a police car. That's abuse of power is what that is.
Correct. What about if you were a civilian and you go speeding past a car that's not from your jurisdiction, a cop car from not your jurisdiction?
Are you in your jurisdiction?
The civilian is in his jurisdiction. The cop is not. He's maybe did a transport.
It'd be hard. He could fill out what's called a civil complaint that gets you into court, but it would be hard to prove. Because here's the deal. When we go to radar training, most people don't know that when we go to radar training and you're out in the car, you're tested, and you have to, before you can hit the button on the radar, you have to guess the speed of the vehicle. And in order to pass that class, you have to be plus or minus 1 within the speed of the vehicle. Well, a normal civilian doesn't do that, so it would be hard to get the evidence. I mean, the best they could do is say, hey, I was driving, if the speed limit is 35, they could say, I was driving 35 and that vehicle passed me, so I know that they were speeding. So you might be able to get into court on a civil complaint for something maybe like operating a manner not reasonable and proper, but it would be hard. It'd be hard for the evidence.
I got you.
Because it's a criminal court. So in order to get a conviction in criminal court, the burden of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. So I think it would be hard for a citizen to articulate facts to beyond a reasonable doubt on a speed charge. Now, I don't think it's right for a police car to do that. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think it would be hard to articulate in a courtroom proof beyond a reasonable doubt that they were doing it.
Right. I gotcha. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of other different questions that people would ask. You know, like so one of our officers he made a TikTok and he put me in on it, and he basically said that we were just kind of joking around. And so on our patrol cars, there's, of course, you've got your button, right, for all your sirens. You got siren, you got horn, you got priority. I called it the party button because the letters were PRTY. It's the party button. Because when you roll up, that's the one you hit. That's the best one. And he made a TikTok, and we were laughing about it, and we're still laughing about it a few years later. And it's just, it's just funny to do because it's a party button. Yeah, it's a funny TikTok.
You made a lot of funny TikToks.
Who?
You?
No, not me, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. But I'll tell you what, the one thing I did, I remember that class was I want to say when we were doing the felony stops. Remember the felony stops? We were doing them. And all of a sudden, I'm not going to say his name, but everybody was clowning. And he was like, "Hey guys, you want a party? We're going to a party." And I couldn't, I was like, "Yeah, where's the party at?" Because I'm down. Like, I was the cop pulling over this car, and he's like, "Come on, man, let's go party." I'm like, "Well, you just need to calm your ass down." I'm not going to say his name, but then all of a sudden he like bends over and there's nothing but ass. And I was like, "Bro, really? What are we doing here? Is this a joke? What's going on? Am I being punked?" So, and the funny thing is that when it came to a situation like that, I think we'll talk backstage later on who that was. You probably remember who he was.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
Yeah. So all of a sudden it was end of it, and I just could not stop laughing but the funny thing is that if I pulled somebody over and they actually did that, I probably would have still done this exact same thing, just laughing and going, "Really? Come on out. You need to pull your pants up because I'm not going to wrestle you with your butt ass out in the air."
Nobody wants to wrestle the naked guy.
Nope. They can keep them in Florida, bro. The naked men running around in Florida. They can keep them.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I had a good time in that academy. That's for damn sure. And I met a lot of cool people and a lot of good friends. D, I'd say we're good friends, even though, we don't speak on like every day, like you and OK Fire Officer, you guys work together, but I'd say we became good friends right after that academy. Once that academy was during the academy, we clicked very well.
I mean, the thing about it is that, you don't have to see each other every day to be good friends. Every time we talk, it's like we have been.
Yeah. 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 It's good stuff, and like everybody, that's how I met Ryan was at the, my bad. It's all good. I'm going back and forth, bro. Do what? Well, you got your name on TikTok. That's the funny thing. I mean,
I don't know how.
It's right there. But do what?
Yeah, his is in his name though.
Yeah, his is mine.
Yeah.
I try to keep.
I've already blown it tonight anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, it's all good. But I mean, that's how we all met, was through that academy. That's exactly how we all met. I mean, because I never would have went down there for anything. So, I mean, it's good stuff. I actually enjoyed it, and I really enjoy being a cop. I mean, that's like the fun part of it.
We enjoyed to have you.
I know for a fact that I tried to make I probably still do, but you try to make a difference in your community and beyond it. You don't just keep it in your community where you work or live. You take it everywhere. You take it to the restaurant. You take it to the gas station. You take your respectfulness and everything to it because you want everybody to see who you are.
Well,
But nowadays,
once you put the uniform on, anytime you're anywhere, you're a direct reflection on your department and the men and women that work for your department.
Mm-hmm. What was it? The uniform. So you have your last name on your uniform because that's the name that your parents gave you, and you need to show respect for that name, right? And then the badge. I can't remember exactly. Was that like the badges for the department that you're representing? So you need to respect the badge and your department by you need to keep everything on a whole nother level. Because I remember somebody was saying something about your last name, that your uniform, what you're wearing, and who you are is like these three things that you are representing. It's you, your name, and your parents or something.
Well, your department, your parents.
For sure.
And it doesn't help to give a little praise to God along the way. He looks out for us dummies.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Could be dead.
There was a couple of times that I remember we had an arson case and I was going to go into the fucking flaming house. Didn't even think about it. I was like maybe a month in, and when that happens, you don't even think. You just go in because you're ready to save whoever is in there. And I caught wind that there was a lady in there. I caught wind that it was somebody's mom, sister, aunt. It doesn't matter. I was going in. There was nobody there. I was about halfway in. I was laying on the ground, getting ready to army crawl through. And I got somebody grabbed my foot. Nobody's in there. I was like, okay, cool. That's cool with me because this sucks.
Thank you.
But, that's the reality of it. And they said, well, if she's in there, if she's in that house, because I don't think I remember telling you. I didn't tell you any of that. Yeah, I had an arson case. I'm going to throw up the air quotes arson case because that's what I thought it was. And that's what everybody thought it was. So anyway, long story short, everybody said that the lady was going to be in the back room where the flames were. And I was like, you can't get 200 feet to that room on the outside without feeling the heat. You were not getting close. And I was like, if she's in there, there's no way. So come to find out, they got into an argument. Her and her boyfriend got into an argument, and he hit her over the head a couple of times, knocked her out with like a flat iron or a curling iron or something. I don't know, the hair straightener. And when she woke up, the house was on fire. So she just hauled ass, and she ended up hauling ass like an hour south. Like she got a ride and everything. Like she dipped. I didn't know anything about this chick. I was like, all I know is there was a chick in there.
I mean, it's a good idea to get out if somebody's trying to kill you.
Dude, no kidding. And when he came back, he said that the house was all on fire, and and he wrote a statement. When he told me, he was like, yeah, she told me if I left, she was going to burn the place down. And I said, do what? No, man, no, she didn't say it like that, man. I was like, well, it's kind of funny you're saying that because your house is on fire.
And she's gone.
And she's not here. I mean, let's point the finger. So, but he didn't do anything, and she didn't do anything. And then like 3 weeks after the fire, I pulled him over for speeding.
Poor guy.
I was like, you guys, seriously? Oh, come on, man. I was like, bro, there is no come on, man. I get you just lost your house 3 weeks ago, but now you're speeding through. It was a brutal case. That was a brutal case. And then, of course, my first CPR.
Yeah.
We talked about that one.
Those always suck, dude. That
was my first one, D. Your little boy's growing up. Yeah. I felt the chest pop, and that was it. He didn't make it. So that one hit me pretty hard because that was my first one. And I'm not going to forget that one. But out of respect for the family and everything, I decided to, on my off day, I decided to take the family and escort to the cemetery.
He's counting.
Almost 30 years ago, I can tell you this, almost 30 years ago now, doing EMT basic clinicals at IMSA in Oklahoma City, and delivered a baby in a bathtub, and I can still tell you that kid's name. He lived, and I can still tell you that kid's name.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I mean, he's 30 years old now.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine didn't make it.
That paramedic was like Superman. He like tubed that child with like fishing line.
Yeah, it's it's stories like this that people don't hear. But on the flip side of it, that particular day that I had, it was a brutal day, and you have to, okay, you guys, we have to, as law enforcement, we have to treat each death as a depending on exactly where it's at. It is a crime scene, period. Doesn't matter if it's, just natural causes or whatever. We still consider it a crime scene, and nobody's allowed to enter or exit this crime scene. That's it. You guys stay out of that area. We block it off. You stay out unless you want to write us a report. And I'm pretty sure you don't want that report.
Hey, I heard you talking about first responders when we started. So I got to give a shout out to all the EMTs and paramedics.
Yeah.
Still in there. Her and her crew are on duty tonight in these storms.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know if she's still in here or not.
I bet it's quiet.
She's probably sitting underneath the gas station awning. She's sitting under the gas station awning.
I'll get a text message in a minute.
It's quiet.
I bet it's quiet over there on the ambulance.
I'm trying to give a shout out. Y'all doing wrong.
That is a great shout out.
Yeah.
Shouting out that it's quiet tonight. No, but for real, it's that's what I'm saying. So like this whole month, that's what I was trying to say was like, there it is. We appreciate the law enforcement, the fire department.
Why did you do that?
I mean, maybe, I don't know, man. But that's what I was trying to do for this month, was just show the appreciation of everybody that, puts on that badge, whether it be a security guard or, EMT, anybody, even the dispatch, that's the ones too, because what sucks about them? They don't know the ending. They hear the very beginning and they hear the during, but they don't know the ending. They don't know what happened. There's no closure.
10-15 or calls an ambulance.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't have that closure. So imagine being that.
I couldn't do it. Wasn't me, babe.
Yeah, I mean, there's
sorry.
No, you did. Yep.
I didn't really say directed towards that agency because we can't speak of agencies on here.
Yeah, we try to keep them out. Do what now?
She said that makes me want to ask my dad questions. I was just curious of what her dad did.
There you go. What does your dad do, Katie? She'll respond here in a minute. Hold on. Oh, yeah. It's whenever you see a cop or a fireman or anybody that is a first responder, and if they're always joking or having a good time and hooting and hollering, and then all of a sudden you see that person one day and they're just drained, tell them it's all right. I mean, if they need to talk, get it out. Get that. Do what?
You got to keep an eye on our partners.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. She's not feeling the love. She's not feeling the love tonight, you guys. No, we appreciate, we do. Everybody does. We appreciate every single person on being a first responder, period, bar none. I have a greater understanding being part of it because, we're part of it. I have a better understanding and a better grasp of certain things about it. I try to make a difference everywhere I go. I try to stay positive. You always try to stay positive. It's really easy. Like I was saying earlier tonight before you guys came on, it's really easy to drop into the negative aspect of things. You know, like whether you're in a relationship. Oh, I wonder who he's texting. He's probably texting that girl or whatever. And it could be, I'm just going to the bathroom. You know what I mean? You got to try to stay on the positive side of things. And it's crazy how quickly everybody just drops to the negative. And so that's why basically the podcast basically came about. That's how it started, you guys, to be honest with you. You know, make a difference in the streets, make a difference. Let's try to make a difference worldwide.
I'm willing to do it for a couple of reasons. One, you're my friend. And two, I appreciate the fact that you want to shed a positive light on something that takes a lot of darkness every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You have to have that shining light. You know, somebody has to be the fucking shining light. Somebody has to shine that fucking light and say, listen, we're not all assholes. There are some. I'm an asshole, but I'm not an asshole all the time. You know, there's steps only to my assholisms. Only when it needs to be.
Friendly.
I mean,
about that story.
Do tell.
I'm officer friendly, man.
He said do tell.
But I had my hat on one night. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and I pulled over a car, and the guy just started running his mouth. And I literally looked at him like, man, this guy, I'm thinking to myself, man, this guy is really getting on my nerves. And he would not shut up. He just kept fucking yapping like a freaking little Chihuahua dog, just yapping. And I looked at him. I grabbed my hat. I turned it backwards. And I said, are you fucking done? Like, I had enough. And he looked at me. And I was like, please tell me you're done. And he looks up and he looks up at me. He's like, yes, sir. I was like, good, because I am the wrong fucking cop you want to play with at 2:30 in the morning in pitch dark. And I leaned in and I looked at his friend in the passenger seat. I said, you might want to tell him that again when I walk away.
That wasn't friendly.
That wasn't friendly because, good Lord, there's only so much I can listen to on the side of the road when there's lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Yeah. Out on this little stretch of road, and my nearest backup is 15 minutes away. I better go. We're here at this level. I better put myself up here real quick, really fast. I'm going to make control of this situation. Done. And once we established who I was, he was like, yes, sir. I said, there you go. We were done.
Now we can be nice again.
Wrote his citation and sent him on his way. As a former dispatcher, EMT, and police wife, not ever knowing the outcome of your call, your partners, etc., it's the hardest of it all. Absolutely. There's no closure, none, unless somebody has told you the ending of that story.
I don't know how many times, I'll get up to the jail or whatever, because our dispatch center's in our jail, it's attached to our jail, and they'll be like, hey, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
They always ask you because they want to know, because it eats at them. And she used to be one of our.
That girl right there is kind of hot.
Wait, which one?
The other one. Corey G.
Corey G.
You popped the other one up as soon as
yeah. So she says the fire rescue guys that told me my husband passed were wonderful. That's got to be tough on them mentally. Absolutely. And
loss and
absolutely.
I mean, those guys are your family.
Yeah. And what's the thing that we're told and we're learned and we're taught, and that's it, is you will not get a phone call. You will always get somebody to knock on the door, make the presence, and tell you. Right? I mean, unless there are circumstances where they get the phone call.
No,
we don't.
No, we will contact if it's in another state, we will contact that agency and request somebody go.
Okay. Get a hold of that person and see that person face to face. I got you. See, I mean, I learn everything different, so that's cool. Kate, if that's directed towards me, yeah, he was a little bit. He was like my dog. I had to put him in his place. Chris is asking, out of the two jobs, which is the most filling?
Both.
Yeah, it's a equal,
I don't know that I can answer that.
It's an equal amount of
I
joy.
can imagine.
Both jobs.
You're generally more appreciated as a firefighter. I mean, firefighters don't get called to make people mad. I mean, but I mean the difference. I can tell you, you know, and I've had this happen, when you arrest somebody that's on dope and you give them the best advice you can give them on the way to the jail, and 20 years later you see them and they're successful and they got a good job and they come up to you and go, "Hey, do you remember me?" And you know, you don't, but they refresh your memory because they look a lot different when they're cleaned up and good, got some weight on them, and you know, they tell you, "Hey, you changed my life." You know, that's it's irreplaceable. It's
absolutely.
You know, when you know at the end of the day that you made a difference, and I told you this in your academy, I know you heard it, and because I tell it to every academy. But there's only two people in this world that you can't lie to. You remember who they are?
Myself and
the mirror test, man.
Oh, I was like myself and the man upstairs.
Lie to yourself and God. So if you can look in the mirror every day and say, "I did a good job," and not get called out by yourself or God, then you've done your job.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely. You put a lot of things into perspective when I was running through the academy. That's for sure. Clinton says, I've got a few friends in law enforcement and friends and family, and he also spent 2 years as a volunteer fireman.
All right.
Cool, Clinton.
So he knows exactly what's up. Yes, Big Man Basson, I am definitely an approachable asshole. And I'll even do this for you. What's the oddest or weirdest call you've ever responded to?
I'm not sure that I can talk about that on there.
Yeah.
Then we don't have to talk about it.
Anything went last week.
I mean, I had a cross dresser with a fake leg one time.
Yeah.
That's cool. And a parrot.
Yeah. I already told you my weirdest call about the curling iron and the dope.
Yeah.
He was there.
Yeah,
he was
horrible.
There.
We're not going to talk about that.
We've already talked about it. It's already been put on.
Yeah, we've already talked. That was last week.
Yeah.
Miss Katie says her 12-year-old tonight just saying she was thinking about being a dispatcher.
Be mentally prepared whenever you.
It's a tough job.
Tell your daughter to go to college and become a doctor. It pays better.
True story. Or go do something else.
I'm kidding. Children need to be what they have a passion for, and everybody doesn't have a passion to do our job. So, I mean, the world needs those of us that do our job. And I mean, so that was a joke. I mean, so
yeah, she knows. I've known Katie now for a little bit, so yeah, she's got my personality, so down to a science. So yeah, she can definitely handle your shit. But you know, I also believe that, yeah, it's a calling, but I also believe that something draws you to it, right? So I think me and you talked last week about when I was 17 years old and I helped that lady out of the car that was upside down in the pond.
I remember
Florida. You remember that story, D? Yeah, I think I said that too. But there was all these little steps as I was growing up. Like there was another car accident, right in front of me and my friend. Car blew through a stop sign. Dude comes running out of the bushes because his car hits this other car. This car goes up into the trees. He comes running out into the gas station and he's holding his chin. We pull up. I see him. He's got this cut, just like he blasted his jaw. Like it was just, I don't know. It looked like it was gone. So, and the girl, holy shit. Now, if you've never seen a car accident, like dead up close in front of you, and one person in the passenger seat was screaming. And I remember looking over and her leg, I could see the bone coming out of her leg. I was 18 when this happened, 17. I see the bone just out of her leg. And I was like, yep, that's broken. The mom looks at me And she's got all these dots all over her face, like these little red dots from the glass that popped. And she's got this look. She's in complete shock. She doesn't even hear her daughter screaming. She looks over at me and she goes, "Are you the ones that hit us?" I was like, "No, ma'am." He's trying to put his jaw back on. I don't know what to say. I'm 17 years old. He's trying to put his jaw back together. You know, we got the police coming. You know, people are coming. And that girl was screaming. They got her out and everything. And people thought it was us, you know, that we were in the car accident because it was a heavy traffic area. And people thought that it was me and my friend that were in the wreck. You know, there's all these little steps as I was getting older. Finally, when I hit, you know, to say, you know what, maybe I need to just be in law enforcement. And it just went right in like nothing.
But with those little steps, it's because you had a rescue personality and not a running high personality, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people, I mean, that do that, and I'm not down on it. But when you have a rescue personality and you can handle, you know, seeing that and doing that, that's what you had through all those little steps. That's what led you to do. I mean, we're all top A personalities, and I mean, we're all adrenaline junkies. I mean, any officer, firefighter you find is going to be a top A personality and adrenaline junkie. We're obsessive compulsive. I mean, that's just the way we all are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's definitely that personality. And when people say that, oh yeah, we've got such a dark sense of humor. Yeah, we do.
Because we see a lot of dark stuff.
That's how we deal with it.
And that's how it's dealt with, you know, especially I was 17 years old and I looked right at her and I was like, yep, that leg's broken. Like, I mean, and then the lady asking me if we were the ones that hit her. No, he's trying to put his jaw back together. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him, but you know,
you didn't look at her and tell her she wasn't going to be needing them shoes no more.
But I mean, I was like, fuck, dude. My buddy, my friend, one of my really good friends, we're still friends to this day. Dude, he was even like, he could not get past a certain point. Like as soon as he looked, he backed up. He's like, nope. Like, and I just walked up and I was like, hey, what's going on? Yep, that leg's broken. But I mean, there's a lot of us that will do certain things. I saw an officer after my accident, not drug related. He was amazing. Remembered my accident. He brought tears to my eyes. Yeah. And, you know, and believe me when I tell you, when something like that happens, the officer or the fireman or the paramedic or hell, even the dispatcher, you know, they really enjoy the thank you. That it'll put tears in their eyes as well, depending on the situation, of course, you know, like, oh my God, thank you for saving my cat. You're welcome. And that's it. But if it's something like very traumatic, then it's going to tug on everybody's heartstrings. That's for sure. Yeah. And then she'd probably be a really good dispatcher. I mean, that's just how it is. But I mean, it's
a really good counselor.
Yeah. See, even the counseling or even the wow, shit. Yeah, the counseling or even like
be a chaplain for the police department. Or fire department or whatever.
I was even thinking like the like OSBI or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys, man, I really appreciate y'all hanging out on the show with me tonight.
For sure.
I really do. You, man, I'm glad y'all got to see me.
Grill, man.
Do what?
You come down, we'll throw something on the grill.
Yeah, absolutely. You know I'm down. I mean, come on.
I'm waiting for you too.
You know, we're gonna have to talk about this because if Chief is watching now, he's gonna be like, what's this? What is this, Harris, that I'm hearing about, bro? What's going on? I'll be like, so funny story, Chief. So we had a search warrant last year, and we got subpoenaed this month to go to court. I get a text the day before the court date. You're excused from court. I was like, oh, okay. It's a good thing because I fucking forgot.
Hey, at least you get text messages.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that was probably my first subpoena. The subpoena ferry showed up and dropped off everybody's names.
Little
And
brown uniforms.
I guess, man,
I think they're gray up where he's at.
they're great. Oh, our uniforms.
Sheriff's office.
They are.
Gray.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is. Good sheriff.
Yeah. There's a couple of reserves that are up there now from our department. One now. So, oh, that's a good one. So, you guys, I really do appreciate it. I'm going to hang you guys backstage for a few minutes. We're going to get Wendy and Clinton to come back. We're definitely going to have a Ryan, we already talked about yours, but D, we have every guest that comes on from now on. I'm getting addresses and stuff from. We're actually going to send out little thank yous and like little Gorilla Lounge memorabilia to say thanks for being on the show and like little trinkets. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight and with everybody here. This is what we do every Thursday night.
Good time, man. Good time.
Sir. Yeah, just hang out backstage for a little bit. Give me a couple more minutes. I always do a little motivation speech at the end, and we go from there. All right?
Okay.
All right, you guys, just hang out. All right, you guys. So it has become the end of the show. Yeah, Mike, definitely fight or flight. Let's see. I got to take this off. Okay. Let's see. Now it's time for that motivation, those little motivational things. Let's see if we can find a good one, especially after tonight. Here you go. You guys ready for this one? Let's see. Change your beliefs and you'll change your thoughts. Change your thoughts and you'll change your habits. Change your habits and your life opens to unlimited possibility. So think about that one. I'll read it again. Let that kind of sink in. And I'll post these from now on. I'm going to start posting them on the Gorilla Lounge Instagram page, the little motivations. Change your beliefs and you'll change your thoughts. Change your thoughts and you'll change your habits. Change your habits and your life opens to unlimited possibilities. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out. It was a good show. I love these guys. And Ryan's wanting to show me his nipples. I might just bring him back up on here again. Do that again, you little motherfucker. I appreciate it, you guys. Fucking jerks. They think that I can hear them, but it's null and void. They're muted. I'm looking right there at their microphone. It's here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do this. I'm just gonna mute them. There. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. Don't forget, next week we actually have, okay, you guys. So next week, let me back up. So here's OK Fire Officer's TikTok page. Go check it out. He does a lot of cooking. You guys want to catch some cooking. Good guy. He was on last week. He was on again this week. Check him out. Great guy. Dare Officer D's TikTok. He does a lot of like landscaping, I want to say. So he does like it's beautiful, the skies and everything. So check them out. Go follow them on TikTok. You know, they'll very much appreciate it. We're all just trying to make a difference in this world of fucking chaos. And next week, okay, you guys, next week we have a really special guest that I have landed. This guy is definitely one of a kind. Okay, he is. I'm gonna run some stats by you real quick. I want you guys to really pay attention to this. All right, it's friggin' good shit. So he is 2006. He became head Muay Thai instructor for Zions Training Center. 2011, he became the head Muay Thai coach at Robert Drysdale Jiu-Jitsu. 2013, head Muay Thai coach at both Zingano Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools. 2009 to 2013 head Muay Thai instructor at Throwdown Training Center and Robert Drysdale Jiu-Jitsu. 2014 and 2015, my academy that I attended, he was the head Muay Thai instructor at Lovato's Mixed Martial Arts. Okay. In 2016, he opened up his own Muay Thai class and mixed martial arts. And you guys, we're having Mark Beecher come on, Mark the Hyena Beecher. He's going to be on next week. Really looking forward to this. He's trained professional fighters. He's got a professional fighting record, Muay Thai, 45-16 and 2-3 MMA. You guys, this guy is a beast, okay? Great guy. Check him out. Watch the show, record it, whatever you want. You guys, it's going to be a phenomenal show. And again, Mark the Hyena Beecher, he's going to be on next week. And it's just going to be the shit, basically. So I'm going to end it with this, you guys. You guys have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. And just, be a better fucking human. That's all there is. That's all there is to it. All right. So anyway, we're out. Peace out.